So I have a question for you in terms of variations. So let's assume that you have 6 variations under a parent, and you're running ads, you're doing your organic traffic, external, it's all coming, and then you look at it, and out of those 6 variations, you have 2 of them converting at, I don't know, 32%, 38%, which is not bad, not like perfect, but it's okay. Uh, and then the other 4 are running around 2%, 8%, 11%. What do you do? How do you handle that situation?
It's a very good question. This would tie back a lot to, in our specific situation, what is the goal or KPI of the brand as a whole, and where does Amazon fit in as a puzzle piece? There would be a number of different considerations. One, are those SKUs that are converting poorly and have a poor click through rate dragging down the performance of the listing as a whole, right? Is it even worth having them on Amazon? Based on the scenario you gave, my recommendation would be no. There's no reason why we should have those listed. We should focus where customers are really engaging, and we should stop offering those products and just look to improve our net click through and conversion across the board.
So there is an idea. Tell me what you think about it. So when you have a situation where, as I described, a couple of the variations are cannibalizing the sales on the others, because by design, Amazon will show the top performing variation in the search results, right? So no matter what happens, that's what's going to show up, and that's what people will land on. And then they have to click on the other variation, whether it's by selecting from a drop down or clicking on a tab or whatever, which is another click, and nobody wants more clicks than necessary. So you end up selling more and more of the one that is being shown the most. And the more it's shown, the more it's bought, and the more it's bought, the more it's shown. So the rest just will suffer. So you will, the idea is take those variations, separate them, and put them under a different parent and drive traffic separately to those. What do you think about that?
It's an interesting strategy. I think overall it probably, this is just conjecture, my opinion. I don't think that would drive a huge boost in performance for the brand as a whole. I think it would require an increased investment in paid. I think it could add a little bit of confusion for consumers across which listing they're looking at. And from a brand perspective, experience perspective, I don't think it's the best.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I mean, this idea came about. I mean, actually, I have a client who has this. They have 10 variations, and the 10 variations are not that complicated. It's obviously too many, but they basically offer 2 sizes and 5 colors, and it's an industrial type of product. It's a fairly high ticket item, and of course, out of those 10 variations, 1 size and 1 color in that size doing the most
is
sales. So, and it happens to be the higher price point. So it's not necessarily associated with low price. So, of course, we're trying to see what to do, and nothing has been done yet. But there are 2 ideas. I'll let you know what happens once we run that
please.
experiment. We want to run because they do have there is demand. It's just not as strong. So
So I would say something interesting we've been doing is reframing the way in which we're looking at variations and trying to understand where we're going to unlock the most value from variations. And when you think about e-commerce, right, in general, you're looking at traffic times conversion rate times price is going to equal revenue. But what if we looked at variations as a way to increase order value, right? But you can perceive from a customer perception, you can make it look as if they're getting more value. but really you're increasing your AOV and your margins improving, but it seems like it's positioned as a better deal. A lot of what we're now doing is bundling as variations, right? So we'll do a color and size or something of that sort, start bundling on the top sellers to increase the order value and then increase the revenue of that listing. And so we're always basing it on, to your point, what are those top selling SKUs within the variation family? And then how can we better offer to customers an assortment of products that will increase the AOV?